stabilize employment, business, and to stabilize market and expectation. We've effectively addressed external impacts and ensured a generally stable economy with progress. Foreign trade in China has withstood pressure, shown dynamism and vitality against a complex environment. According to the customs, in the first 6 months, trading goods registered 21.79 trillion yuan. That's a 2.9% year-on-year increase. Export registered 13 trillion yuan, 7.2% higher, and import 8.79 trillion yuan, 2.7% lower. The trade has the following 5 features.
First, foreign trade maintained stable growth. In the first half of this year, China's import and export stabilized at 20 trillion RMB yuan, hitting a historical high. Quarterly speaking, export and import in Q2 was up by 4.5% year-on-year, which is 3.2 percentage points faster than Q1, maintaining growth for 7 consecutive quarters. Second, trade partners have become more diverse. In the first half of this year, China's import and export with countries participating in Belt and Road Cooperation registered 11.29 trillion RMB yuan, up by 4.7%, accounting for 51.8% of the total, which is 0.9 percentage points higher than the same period of last year, among which our trade with ASEAN posted 3.69 trillion RMB yuan, up by 9.6%. In the same period of time, China's import and export, respectively with the EU and the ROK and Japan, all maintained growth. Third, drivers behind export are improved. In the first half of this year, China's export of electromechanical products registered 7.8 trillion RMB yuan, up by 9.5%, accounting for 60% of the total, which is 1.2 percentage points higher than the same period of last year, among which the growth of high-end equipment connected with new quality productive forces is over 20%, and neutral products representing green and low-carbon development grew by 12.7%. Fourth, domestic demand expanded and stimulated imports as China took steps to implement major national strategies and enhance security capacity in key areas and increased support for a new round of large-scale equipment upgrades and consumer goods trading programs. Imports in the second quarter of this year resumed positive growth. In the first half of 2025, imports of mechanical equipment in petrochemical and textile industries saw double-digit growth, and imports of electronic components and other key parts grew rapidly. Imports of crude oil and metalliferous ores, which are key raw materials, increased by weight. Fifth, foreign trade entities have been further invigorated. In the first half of this year, China's foreign companies with import-export track records registered 628,000, for the first time surpassing 600,000, which is an increase of 43,000, among which private companies posted 547,000, with an increase of import and export of 7.3%, accounting for nearly 60% of the total. Overall speaking, in the first 6 months, China's foreign trade, against all pressure, improved both in quantity and quality, which is no mean feat. The fundamental reason behind such achievement is the centralized, unified leadership of the Party Central Committee, the concerted efforts of all departments, and also because of the adaptive and innovative efforts of our foreign trade companies and practitioners. However, we need to see that global unilateralism and protectionism rear their ugly heads, and the complexity, harshness, and uncertainty of the external environment are on the rise. In the second half of this year, to stabilize China's foreign trade, we need to pay arduous efforts. The GACC firmly implements the decisions and deployment of the Party Central Committee, earnestly fulfill our responsibilities, deepen smart customs construction and cooperation, and strive to enhance cross-border trade facilitation action. We will actively play our role as a hub of domestic international dual circulations. And with better security regulation, convenience, and stricter measures against smuggling, we will stabilize quality and improve quantity, so as to contribute to a high-standard opening up and high-quality development. Thank you. Now, please raise your questions and identify with your media affiliation.
You just shared an overview of China's foreign trade in the first half. How would you assess the performance, key highlights, and the outlook for the second half? Thank you for your question. This year, despite a complex and challenging global environment, China's foreign trade has demonstrated strong resilience and marked progress on the following three fronts: increased total volume, improved quality, and stable key variables. First, let's look at the increased total volume. China's foreign trade volume has remained above 10 trillion yuan for 9 consecutive quarters. In the first half, the total value of trade increased by over 600 billion yuan compared to the same period last year. In June, overall foreign trade, imports and exports all registered year-on-year growth. With accelerating momentum across the board. To be more specific, total foreign trade reached 3.85 trillion yuan in June, up 5.2%. This is the second highest monthly figure on record, among which exports stood at 2.34 trillion yuan, up 7.2%, with faster growth seen in products such as electronic components and ships. Imports reached 1.51 trillion yuan, up 2.3%, with notable growth in parts for automatic data processing equipment and in fresh and dried fruits. Next, on improved quality. China's foreign trade enterprises have capitalized on the global trend of energy transition by increasing the supply of high-quality green products and accelerating the exploration of new fields and new sectors. In the first half of the year, exports of lithium batteries and wind turbines both grew by over 20%. Recently, there has been a lot of attention on the robot soccer match. From dancing to marathons, and now to soccer, robots are becoming increasingly versatile, showcasing the innovative vitality of China's robotics industry. In 2024, China's share of the global industrial robot export market rose to second place, and in the first half of this year, exports continue to grow by 61.5%. Our robots in areas such as cooking, cleaning, food delivery, and entertainment are becoming smarter, making life easier for consumers worldwide. Third, on stable key variables. In the face of unilateralism and protectionism, China has expanded its circle of friends, strengthened economic and trade cooperation, and boosted business confidence to better navigate the rapid shifts in the external environment. In the first half of the year, China's trade grew with over 190 countries and regions. And the number of trade partners with a trade scale above 50 billion yuan reached 61. 5. more than the same period last year. While traditional markets such as the EU, Japan, and the UK saw growth, emerging markets contributed even more to this increase. Specifically, trade with Africa reached 1.18 trillion yuan, up 14.4%. And trade with Central Asia amounted to 357.2 billion yuan, up 13.8%. It's all about boosting confidence when climbing hills and getting past obstacles. The latest GAC Trade Confidence Survey shows that both export and import enterprises have seen their confidence levels rise for 2 consecutive months. Now, some countries are abusing tariffs. This violates international trade rules and poses severe challenges to global economic growth. Recently, multiple international organizations have downgraded their global trade growth forecasts for this year. Despite external uncertainties, China's diverse and stable market, innovative and high-quality products, and adaptive foreign trade entities in China gave us the confidence, resilience, and capability to face all risks and challenges. Thank you. Next question, please.
Judging from the data briefed now, in the first half of this year, the two-way trade between China and the countries participating in Belt and Road Cooperation showed good performance. Could you share with us more on the details? Thank you for your question. China proposed the 8 major measures for supporting high-quality Belt and Road cooperation. Since then, under the concerted efforts of countries participating in the Belt and Road cooperation, we have reached a series of tangible results. In the first half this year, China's import and export with countries participating in Belt and Road cooperation registered 11.29 trillion RMB yuan, up by 4.7% year-on-year, accounting for 51.8% of the total. And progress is as the following. First, closer links in trade. China and countries participating in Belt and Road cooperation strengthen coordination and promote an open world economy. The latest data shows that in the first 4 months this year, trade among countries participating in Belt and Road cooperation has accounted for half of their total, and which is a dramatic increase compared with the level in 2013 when the initiative was first proposed. In the first 6 months, China's export to these countries of electronic components, electrical equipment, and accessories of computers also show rapid growth. Second, closer cooperation in development. China implemented a series of landmark projects and small and beautiful livelihood projects, which greatly supported the economic and social development of these countries. For the first 6 months, China's export to these countries for construction machineries and the wind power generation unit for green development and sci-tech innovation and instruments and meters all maintained double-digit growth. In the same period of the time, we also actively expanded the import from these countries. And for the first half this year, we signed 32 agreements for market access of agri-food products, including macadamia nuts from Zambia and fresh bananas from Colombia. Third, more dimensional connectivity. In recent years, Silk Road Maritime, Air Silk Road, and Cross-Border Highway expedient development. In the first half of this year, China's import and export with countries participating in Belt and Road cooperation by sea, air, land increased by 4.3%, 9%, and 16.4% respectively. In the meanwhile, China-Europe freight train, international sea-land trade corridor, and China-Laos railway cross-border transport also showed good momentum. We also actively improve services of the trips and continue to expand efficiency of cross-border clearance. In ancient times, it would take multiple years for caravans to start from Chang'an to bring China's tea leaves and silk into Europe. But now it takes only 10 days for Chang'an freight train services to cross mountains and seas and bring the products to each other. In the first half this year, China's import and export in terms of dry and fresh fruits and vegetables, edible oil, cosmetics also witnessed rapid growth via transport by railway. Going forward, we will continue to fulfill our responsibility, deepen the implementation of the 8 major measures for high-quality Belt and Road cooperation, deepen port management, supply chain connectivity, and agro-food products with countries participating in Belt and Road cooperation so as to contribute to the high-quality Belt and Road cooperation. Thank you.
China's foreign trade maintained steady growth against complex environments, which is largely credited to supporting policies. What measures has GACC taken specifically to facilitate trade and improve business environment, and how are the measures help businesses? Thank you for your attention to this aspect. The GACC has been taking the lead and working with 20 departments and 25 pilot countries to start a cross-border trade facilitation initiative in April, and to facilitate 29 measures implemented so as to build a more convenient, smooth, efficient, and coordinated and transparent port business environment, and to mobilize enterprises and stabilize foreign trade. The progress is encouraging. First, we have more effective policies. We answered the need of enterprises in a targeted way, and we've adjusted the catalog of bonded maintenance products in comprehensive bonded zones, pilot eligible bonded maintenance outside the zones. In the first 6 months, trade in national bonded maintenance services has registered 256.99 billion yuan, up by 7.5%. And we also expanded pilots in inspecting recycled packaging of Li-ion batteries and categorized oversight over food, medicine, dual-use products, and we also have faster cross-border logistics. We have improved supervision, streamlined customs clearance, and strengthened monitoring and scheduling of container handling volumes at key ports. And we also innovated oversight models, including the picking up beside ships. And for the first half of the year, 76.41 million TAU of containers were handled through shipping, up by 11.3%. And we also have a better trade environment. We have improved international on cross-border trade facilitation and built a smart customs community portal with 141 countries and regional customs registered. And we also expand the single window for international trade services. And we also have cut the costs of customs, including the incentives for AEO enterprises. We've provided 3,776 times of concessional measures for AEOs, including credit facility and financing guarantee, as well as co-loading of domestic and foreign cargo. And we're cutting logistic costs across the society. And I would also like to introduce a measure that is highly relevant with your daily life. That is the one-stop platform for inbound and outbound mails for higher efficiency. And you can use websites, the app, and the WeChat mini program to check the customs clearance status of their mail and have declaration, tax payment, and tax refund application on this platform to save your time and save the costs of agency services. And we welcome your suggestions and use. Next, we will continue to have precise implementation, policy evaluation, and promotion, and to improve business environment and to have better results of the initiative so as to promote the gains of the sense of gains for enterprises. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Liu will take a question. Just now, Vice Minister just gave an update on the foreign trade volume in the first half of this year, including both the total volume and growth rate. As you said, the negative import growth is a result of multiple factors, including uncertainty in international trade politics and a decline in commodity prices. As a major importer of bulk commodities, these products account for about 30% of China's total imports. So fluctuations in international commodity prices have a big impact on our imports. In the first half of this year, the average import prices of crude oil, iron ore, and soybeans all dropped by more than 10%, leading to a 2.7 percentage point decrease in overall import growth. But when assessing imports, we need to consider not only the growth rate, but also the overall trend, as well as both value and volume. With the continued recovery of the domestic economy and the expansion of domestic demand, imports have started to stabilize. For example, in the second quarter, imports turned positive, driven mainly by volume growth, which indicates real solid growth. On the one hand, steady growth in industrial production has led to a rebound in imports of equipment and components. Over the past 2 months, China's manufacturing PMI has continued to rise. In the second quarter, the import growth rates of high-end machine tools and electronic components accelerated by 13.9 and 7.7 percentage points, respectively, compared to the first quarter. On the other hand, there has been a rebound in market sales, driving growth in imports of certain consumer goods. Under incentive policies such as Consumer Goods Trade-in, China's total retail sales of consumer goods in the first 5 months showed an accelerated year-on-year growth compared to the first quarter. In the second quarter, imports of food, tobacco, and alcohol, as well as cultural and entertainment products, grew at a faster pace, increasing by 8.8% and 10.8%, respectively. Imports of household goods also grew by 3.1%. I'd also like to share an important update. Starting from December 1st of last year, China granted the least developed countries that have diplomatic ties with China zero tariff treatment for 100% tariff lines. In the first half of this year, imports from the LDCs saw double-digit growth. Going forward, we will extend zero tariffs to 53 African countries having diplomatic ties with China, and China's big market will drive the shared development of all these countries. With a large population, China is accelerating the implementation of a strategy to expand domestic demand and launching special initiatives to boost consumption. This makes China a super large market with the greatest growth potential in the world. As China's market continues to expand and its door opens wider, China's growing imports will bring greater benefit to the world. Thank you. Next question, please. How do private enterprises stand out in foreign trade, and what has GAC done to support their development? Thank you for your question. At the symposium on private enterprises, General Secretary Xi Jinping encouraged all the private enterprises to steadfastly pursue high-quality development. This year, a series of key favorable policies have significantly boosted business confidence. Regarding foreign trade, business all the private enterprises have shown notable progress in their high-quality development. For example, in the first half of this year, private enterprises' total foreign trade value reached 12.48 trillion yuan, up 7.3% year-on-year, accounting for 57.3% of China's total foreign trade, an increase of 2.3 percentage points compared to the same period last year. Both exports and imports saw growth. Let me break it down further. First, private enterprises continue to lead in foreign trade. As of the second quarter, private enterprises' foreign trade volume have shown growth for 21 consecutive quarters, maintaining a sustained growth rate ahead of other sectors. Notably, despite unfavorable external challenges this year, the half-year foreign trade volume of private enterprises surpassed 12 trillion yuan for the first time in history, with a growth rate of 4.4 percentage points higher than the national average. Second, private enterprises continue to show stronger innovative momentum. They are climbing to new heights and accelerating industrial upgrades. In the first half, over 80% of China's leading SMEs, also called the little giants, engaged in foreign trade, were private enterprises. And private enterprises' exports of high-tech products grew by 12.5% at the same time. They have pushed for equipment renewal and upgrades, with strong growth for imported high-end equipment, including petrochemicals and electronics. Third, private enterprises continue to enjoy solid development. They have remained focused on their core business, helped build up the real economy, and refined their industrial structure, leading to significant improvements in overall strength. In the first half, products from the equipment manufacturing sector accounted for nearly half of their exports. And hard power products like ships, automobiles, and specialized equipment all saw double-digit growth. More and more private enterprises have grown and thrived amid the challenges of the international market. In the first half of this year, among the top 500 foreign trade businesses in China, 218 are private enterprises. GAC will thoroughly implement various policies and measures aimed at making the private economy's operations easier. Efforts will be made to enhance services in customs clearance facilitation, inspection and quarantine, fair law enforcement, and protection of rights and interests. The focus will be on addressing urgent challenges and concerns faced by private enterprises in the customs clearance process, thereby fostering the sound and high-quality development of them. Thank you. Next question, please. With the complex and volatile international trade landscape, some worry about foreign enterprises' confidence in China. How well did they do in foreign trade in the first half? Were they affected? Thank you for your question. Foreign-founded enterprises have made positive contribution to China's economic growth and remain key players in China's foreign trade. In the first half, foreign-founded enterprises' foreign trade volume reached 6.32 trillion yuan, up 2.4% year-on-year, marking a fifth consecutive quarter of growth. Despite the complex and fluid global trade environment, foreign businesses in China continue to focus on the Chinese market and stay confident in China's long-term potential. By saying continue to focus on the Chinese market, I mean they combine their technological strengths with China's industrial support capabilities. As a result, exports in key industries maintained an upward trend. Foreign enterprises saw rapid export growth in all the key manufacturing sectors, including special equipment, electrical machinery, and electronics. In recent years, under the guidance of policies aimed at stabilizing foreign investment, foreign enterprises have expanded beyond single location operations to more diversified and balanced layouts. In the first half, The share of foreign-founded enterprises in total foreign trade was 30% in the eastern region, 25.1% in the central and western regions, and 26.4% in the northeastern regions. By saying stay confident in China's long-term potential, I mean despite fluctuations in cross-border investments, an increasing number of foreign-founded enterprises view China as an ideal, secure, and promising investment destination. In the first half of this year, the number of foreign-founded enterprises engaged with meaningful foreign trade operations reached 75,000, the highest for the same period since 2021. They have also accelerated investments in production capacity, with imports of high-end equipment growing by 3.2% in the first half. At the same time, they are focusing on long-term growth by ramping up innovation and R&D. For example, imports of bonded RMB goods grew by 52.1%, accounting for over 70% of the national total. As global uncertainties rise, China's stable policy and long-term planning have become even more valuable. We believe more foreign enterprises will achieve greater success here in China. Thank you. Next question, please. Despite a complex global environment and pressures on trade, China's export continued to grow in the first half of this year. Can you share more details on this? Mr. Liu will take a question. Thank you for your question. This year, despite increasing external pressure and challenges, China's exports have remained on the steady growth trajectory. In the first half, export volume surpassed 13 trillion yuan for the first time in history during this period, with a robust year-on-year growth of 7.2%. On the main foreign trade players, all three categories of enterprises registered positive export growth. In the first half, private enterprises exported 8.52 trillion yuan, up by 8.3%. Foreign-founded enterprises exported 3.49 trillion yuan, up by 5.24%, and state-owned enterprises exported 968.73 billion yuan, up 3.8%. At the same time, the number of enterprises with successful export operations has steadily increased. In 2015, 2019, and 2023, the number surpassed 300,000, 400,000, and 500,000 respectively. And this number continues to grow in the first half of this year by 8.5%. On the export markets, both traditional and emerging markets have shown growth. In the first half, China's exports to traditional markets like the EU, Japan, and the UK saw steady growth, while exports to emerging markets such as ASEAN, Central Asia, and Africa recorded double-digit growth rates. China has been supplying production equipment and technology to emerging markets, fostering local industrial development and creating jobs. Notably, exports of machine tools to ASEAN, agricultural machinery to Central Asia, and textile machinery to Africa have all seen significant increases. On major products, the emphasis on innovation stands out more clearly. In the first half, exports of high-tech products grew by 9.2%, marking a consecutive growth for 9 months. Among these, the export growth rates of high-end machine tools, ships, and offshore engineering equipment all exceeded 20%, and exports of instruments and meters increased by 14.7%. China's push for technological self-reliance has also fostered the development of homegrown brands. With high-tech products exports, the share of self-owned brands reached 32.4%, an increase of 1.2 percentage points compared to the same period last year. More and more companies are closely following changes in global market demands by offering differentiated and customized products. For example, solar-powered mobile phones for areas with power shortages, and dust and heat-resistant engines for regions with desert terrain. So both innovations have received positive feedback from overseas consumers. Overall speaking, in the first half, China's exports grew steadily, driven by a complete industrial system and fueled by the deep integration of technological and industrial innovation. By offering high-quality supply that truly matches global market demand, China's export sector is well positioned for the future. We're confident that China's export will continue to move forward, and after the storm, there will be a rainbow. Thank you. Next question.
Beijing Youth Daily. This year marks the 50th anniversary of China-EU diplomatic relations, and our economic and trade relations are also in spotlight. Could you please brief us on the trade performance between the two sides? Thank you. This year marks the 50th anniversary of China-EU diplomatic relations. For the past 5 decades, our economic and trade cooperation complements each other, with bilateral trade volume increasing by over 300 times. In the first half of this year, China's import and export between the EU registered 2.82 trillion RMB yuan, up by 3.5% year-on-year. On a daily basis, on average, our two-way trade surpassed 15 billion RMB yuan, which is the equivalent of the trade volume for a whole year when we established diplomatic relations. In the first half of this year, trade with EU accounted for 12.9% of the total foreign trade of China, making the EU China's second largest trading partner. Our economic trade cooperation continues to deepen. First, accelerated integration of industrial supply chains. For instance, China-EU vehicles can complement each other in technology and boost the industry together. In the first 6 months, China's export to the EU of vehicle parts grew by 9.7%, and our import from the EU of heavy-duty bus, transition, and the vehicle diesel engine grew by 40.8% and 65.2% respectively. On the other hand, our consumer markets are deeply aligned. Both China and the EU are important consumer markets of the world and are each other's biggest source of imported consumer goods. In the first half of this year, China's import from the EU of medical health products, luggages, and accessories account for over 60% of China's imports of the same kind of products, and China's export to the EU of textile clothing, household appliances, and laptop computers all witnessed rapid growth. In the meanwhile, China and the EU enjoy immense potential for cooperation across many sectors. In connectivity, as of June this year, China-EU freight train had a total of 110,000 plus trips connecting 128 cities in China and 229 cities in Europe, and has become a bridge for China-EU economic and trade interactions. In green development, our cooperation continues to deepen. China's export to the EU of wind power generation unit, high voltage transformers, both showed good momentum. China is committed to high-quality development and high-standard opening up. We're ready to work with the EU to expand mutual opening up and jointly oppose unilateralism and protectionism and uphold multilateralism and free trade so as to bring tangible benefits to our bilateral companies and consumers, and also inject more stability and certainty to the global economy and trade. Thank you.
How was the export of cross-border e-commerce in the first half of the year? And what's the impact of the U.S. tariff on low-value parcels from China? How was the export to other markets? Thank you. According to our policy, our cross-border e-commerce statistics are reported semi-annually and annually. And for the first half of the year, the statistics will be released in October. But here I will give you a preliminary data. Import and export of cross-border e-commerce was about 1.32 trillion yuan in the first half of the year, up by 5.7% year-on-year. Export about 1.03 trillion yuan, up by 4.7%, and import 291.1 billion yuan, up by 9.3%. For statistics in different categories like markets and products, please stay tuned for our official data in October. And I would like to say that cross-border e-commerce statistics released monthly, annually, and quarterly will include data in cross-border e-commerce. Cross-border e-commerce is a digital bridge linking consumers and producers in different countries. It has been a way of life for people in daily life. Man-made restrictions set by certain countries will not change the strength of cross-border e-commerce and will not change the trend of international digitalization of trade. And we would like to work with all countries to facilitate healthy development of cross-border e-commerce. Thank you. We noted that Labubu has been a hit globally, and recently customs have seized fake Labubu in different ports. And what measures has the customs done in IP protection? In recent years, Chinese toys have been a global hit. Recently, the toys exported to the globe has increased by 9.6%. And now Labubu is very popular around the world. And GACC has released a series of customs vs. Lafufu on our official account. It has been a trending topic. And through this, people know that one of our major responsibilities is customs IPR protection. That refers to proactive inspection or detention of suspected infringing goods by customs at entry or exit links to curb IPR infringements and support and protect innovation. Since 1994, we have implemented the customs IPR protection and engaged in IPR global governance. In the first half of the year, customs nationally have seized 11,000 batches of suspected infringing goods, 38.679 pieces in total. 38.679 thousand pieces in total, including Lafufu. And the key to noticing the real Labubu is to see the teeth. The authentic one includes 9 teeth, but fake Labubus will often lack teeth. And that's the secret of noticing the real ones. And I really like to see people's comments under our series. People are leaving interesting comments, including a small step by customs is a giant leap for IPR protection. And another says that it's the customs that are doing the real thing. So people are standing with authentic brands, and I would like to give you a big thumb up.
Since the start of the year, China-U.S. trade has gained a lot of attention. Please, could you please share with us the trade performance between the two sides, and what is your anticipation to the trend in trade between the two countries? First, I will give you a brief introduction. In the first half this year, China's import and export with the U.S. totaled 2.09 trillion RMB yuan, down by 9.3% year-on-year, among which export registered 1.55 trillion RMB yuan, down by 9.9%. Import registered 530.35 billion RMB yuan, down by 7.47%. Affected by the reciprocal tariffs, China-U.S. trade shifted from year-on-year increase in Q1 to year-on-year decline in Q2, with a drop of 20.8%. Recently, Geneva and the London talks made positive progress. China-U.S. trade has picked up. In June, import and export rebounded to over 350 billion RMB yuan from less than 300 billion yuan in May, with a narrowing year-on-year decline. China-U.S. economic trade cooperation in essence is mutually beneficial and win-win. This is an inevitable historical trend in a globalized era, an objective requirement for deep integration of industrial chain, and also the precondition for achieving innovative coordination of our companies and bringing benefits to the people. According to our understanding, at present, the teams of the two countries are implementing the outcomes of the framework reached in London. China wants to stress again that the Geneva Trade Talks consensus and the framework reached in London are hard won. Extortion and coercion lead nowhere. Only dialogue and cooperation can find the way out. We hope that the U.S. will work with China in the same direction, make cooperation the defining feature of China-U.S. economy and trade, and bring the global trading system back to the track of openness and fairness, so as to make its due contribution to global economic recovery and growth. Thank you. Recently, the 17th BRICS Summit was held. Could you please brief us on the trade performance between China and BRICS countries and partners, and what has GACC done in boosting BRICS cooperation? Mr. Liu will take this question. Thank you. Since the start of the year, BRICS cooperation mechanism has been developed again and stands at the forefront of the global south. In the first 6 months, China's import and export with BRICS countries and partners registered 6.11 trillion yuan, up by 3.9%, accounting for 28.1% of China's total import and export. China combines trade, investment, and R&D, support relevant countries improving infrastructure and upgrading industry, which also boosted the trade growth. In industry, BRICS family leveraged comparative strengths and had closer cooperation in industrial supply chains in chemicals, metal, and electronics. In the first 6 months, China's import from BRICS countries of printed circuit, components, rubber, and plastic all maintained growth, and China's export of chemical machinery, metalworking machine tools, among other equipment, also had rapid growth. In agriculture, BRICS countries stretch across Asia, Europe, Africa, and Latin America, and our agro products are unique and can meet each other's diversified demand. In the first half this year, China's import from BRICS countries of palm oil, rapeseed oil, and edible vegetable oil rose by 13.7%. Shrimp, crab, and other edible aquatic products was up by 10.6%, and China's export of tangerine grapes also show rapid growth. China also export to BRICS countries of combined harvester and the cotton picker. These export registered 34.7%, helping relevant countries in achieving more agriculture modernization. Infrastructure. In the first half this year, China's export to BRICS countries of road roller and concrete mixture grew by 42.7% and 37.9% respectively. In the meanwhile, we continue to promote green development of BRICS and worked with Egypt and Saudi Arabia to build solar power plants in deserts to help relevant countries with energy transition. In the first 6 months, China's export to BRICS countries of renewable energy power generation unit rose by over 70%, and for the wind power generation unit components, the figure was 11.8%. In October last year, President Xi Jinping announced to establish BRICS country customs demonstration center. We will make earnest implementation and focus on the 3 tasks of Smart Customs Center of Excellence website, capacity building and communication cooperation, and Smart Customs construction and cooperation demonstration, foster a pace setter of cooperation in customs. Recently, on June the 30th, the Smart Customs Center of Excellence website is officially launched, sharing China's experience in smart customs building with the BRICS countries. It will also help companies understand the trade policies of BRICS countries. Going forward, we will accelerate in promoting the customs capacity building and exchange cooperation with BRICS countries, foster demonstration of smart customs construction cooperation, and implement the outcomes you've mentioned of the 17th BRICS Summit so as to bolster economic and trade interactions among BRICS countries. The last question.
How is the trade going in major foreign trade provinces and in central and western regions in the first half of the year? And what are the highlights? Thank you. In recent years, China has been opening up metrics, combining dots, lines, and planes. From coastal areas to border areas, from east to west, the layout has been improved. Since this year, subnational governments have followed through the decisions made by the Party Central Committee and progressed with synergy. First, major foreign trade provinces are the backbone. They have a large share of the total amount of our foreign trade, playing a key role in trade stability. In the first half of the year, import and export in Guangdong, Jiangsu, Zhejiang, Shanghai, and Shandong accounted for 64.1% of the country's total, up by 4.8% year-on-year. That's 1.9 percentage points higher than the national average increase rate, and drives up 3 percentage points of overall trade increase in China. And they are also the backbone of export increase, contributing nearly 60% of national export increments. Second, border areas are tapping into their potential. With their unique locations, 9 provinces and regions in a border area are serving as a bridge with China's neighbors. In the first 6 months, their trade with neighboring countries exceeded 900 billion yuan, up by 6.3% year-on-year. Their trade with Kyrgyzstan, Mongolia, and Tajikistan accounted for over half of China's total with the above-mentioned countries. With strengthened connectivity and smart customs and smart ports, they're bringing competitive products from neighboring countries faster into Chinese market. In the first half of the year, the import of the Lao rubber and Kazakhstan flaxseed increased rapidly. Third, central and western areas show momentum for growth. In the first 6 months, 18 provinces and regions had trade in central and western China registered 3.95 trillion yuan, up by 11.2%, 8.3 percentage points higher than the national average, and that accounted for 18.1% of the total amount, up by 1.3 percentage points. The central and western region is synergizing international logistic corridors and industries, and trade through the new land-sea corridor increased by 20%. So the major foreign trade provinces are the points, border areas are the lines, and central and western areas are the plains. With these combined, this is the whole picture of China's foreign trade in the first 6 months. We can see that China's land, sea are connected, east and west are interconnected, and we're now having a comprehensive opening up matrix, and we're now embracing a high standard opening up. Thank you. And that's the end of the press conference. Thank you.
那你得快点，他一会儿要关那个大屏。你怎么着？上小学去不到你想去的学校呀？是那个，他妈的有一个现在傻逼家长太。
employment business and to stabilize market and expectation. We've effectively addressed external impacts and ensured a generally stable economy with progress. Foreign trade in China has withstood pressure, shown dynamism and vitality against a complex environment. According to the customs, in the first 6 months, trading goods registered 21.79 trillion yuan. That's a 2.9% year-on-year increase. Export registered 13 trillion yuan, 7.2% higher, and import 8.79 trillion yuan, 2.7% lower. The trade has the following 5 features.
First, foreign trade maintained stable growth. In the first half of this year, China's import and export stabilized at 20 trillion RMB yuan, hitting a historical high. Quarterly speaking, export and import in Q2 was up by 4.5% year-on-year, which is 3.2 percentage points faster than Q1, maintaining growth for 7 consecutive quarters. Second, trade partners have become more diverse. In the first half of this year, China's import and export with countries participating in Belt and Road Cooperation registered 11.29 trillion RMB yuan, up by 4.7%, accounting for 51.8% of the total, which is 0.9 percentage points higher than the same period of last year, among which our trade with ASEAN posted 3.69 trillion RMB yuan, up by 9.6%. In the same period of time, China's import and export, respectively with the EU and the ROK and Japan, all maintained growth. Third, drivers behind export are improved. In the first half of this year, China's export of electromechanical products registered 7.8 trillion RMB yuan, up by 9.5%, accounting for 60% of the total, which is 1.2 percentage points higher than the same period of last year, among which the growth of high-end equipment connected with new quality productive forces is over 20%, and neutral products representing green and low-carbon development grew by 12.7%. Fourth, domestic demand expanded and stimulated imports as China took steps to implement major national strategies and enhance security capacity in key areas and increased support for a new round of large-scale equipment upgrades and consumer goods trading programs. Imports in the second quarter of this year resumed positive growth. In the first half of 2025, imports of mechanical equipment in petrochemical and textile industries saw double-digit growth, and imports of electronic components and other key parts grew rapidly. Imports of crude oil and metalliferous ores, which are key raw materials, increased by weight. Fifth, foreign trade entities have been further invigorated. In the first half of this year, China's foreign companies with import-export track records registered 628,000, for the first time surpassing 600,000, which is an increase of 43,000, among which private companies posted 547,000, with an increase of import and export of 7.3%, accounting for nearly 60% of the total. Overall speaking, in the first 6 months, China's foreign trade, against all pressure, improved both in quantity and quality, which is no mean feat. The fundamental reason behind such achievement is the centralized, unified leadership of the Party Central Committee, the concerted efforts of all departments, and also because of the adaptive and innovative efforts of our foreign trade companies and practitioners. However, we need to see that global unilateralism and protectionism rear their ugly heads, and the complexity, harshness, and uncertainty of the external environment are on the rise. In the second half of this year, to stabilize China's foreign trade, we need to pay arduous efforts. The GACC firmly implements the decisions and deployment of the Party Central Committee, earnestly fulfill our responsibilities, deepen smart customs construction and cooperation, and strive to enhance cross-border trade facilitation action. We will actively play our role as a hub of domestic international dual circulations. And with better security regulation, convenience, and stricter measures against smuggling, we will stabilize quality and improve quantity, so as to contribute to a high-standard opening up and high-quality development. Thank you. Now, please raise your questions and identify with your media affiliation.
You just shared an overview of China's foreign trade in the first half. How would you assess the performance, key highlights, and the outlook for the second half? Thank you for your question. This year, despite a complex and challenging global environment, China's foreign trade has demonstrated strong resilience and marked progress on the following three fronts: increased total volume, improved quality, and